Question that we get is refinement. How far do you refine? What time frames do you go on? Um, how do you actually do it? Think about refinement. If you haven't watched the second part of the course, be sure you do. Otherwise, this video still won't make sense. In terms of refinement, now this is personal to you. For example, here I have a 4-hour POI, right? I can refine it down to what I refine it down to. I can refine it down to this one, and that's it. For me, that could be it. I don't have to do anything further. The reason why is because for me that's clear enough. And to be fair, I mean that's only 5 pips. That is clear enough. That's the order block within the higher time frame order block, right? I've got no need to refine that any further. However, I could. I mean, you can even go further down. You can go within that. Go 15 minute even. Is there anything here? I mean, you can even refine it down to this. But the main thing that you need to understand is that there's no set rule, and although we have a rule-based entry system, so don't get mixed up. Although we have a rule-based entry system and a rule-based trend deciding system, whatever you want to call it, not everything is rule-based. Okay, you can't keep thinking linear all the time. You need to be able to adapt to the situation, and every situation is different. Now, in order to find what you're comfortable refining to, if you're still having this problem, it means you haven't backtested enough. I cannot do that for you. Okay, in order to find your comfort level, you need to do that yourself. So instead of asking the question of how far you refine it to, or why did you refine it to a certain point, the main reason that I refine it to a certain point is because that's what I'm comfortable with, and I will give you that same answer every single time that you would ask that. You need to find what you're comfortable with, and that only comes from backtesting, not from me telling you. So don't keep thinking that everything is a rule-based system. You need to think what is comfortable for you, okay? Because what you can do is, if you don't want to over refine it, just have this as your OB, mark out 50%, and there. So set an alert at the open, alert at 50%. You're fine. You don't need to go any further than that. There's no need. But it's up to you if you want to refine it further than that, and that's your choice. So don't think in such a strict way. Be a bit more relaxed in the way that you think about it, but don't set yourself rules in order to refine. If you want to follow the time frame rules, but you still need to be able to adapt. You still need to be able to go through different time frames, like the 2, 3, 4 minute, even what Nick does. He'll go to like the 12 minute even if he wants to, because the main thing is it has to be clear visually to you, but you still have to keep the logic, and it still has to make sense. Like, you can't just pick any candle within that. It still has to be an OB, as in it still has to be within this. Okay, you can't, for example, like say you go to the 1 minute inside this, and I haven't even seen this, to be fair. So where is it? The heck? Okay. So what you need to think is, for example, it's most likely not going to be from somewhere here, because what you need to think about is what's been mitigated and what hasn't. For example, that hasn't been mitigated, so that could be the OB. Okay, but that could potentially be over refining. Okay, and if you do over refine, it's fine if you're using risk entries. However, if you're doing a confirmation entry, you don't need to refine it this far, but you still need to think what hasn't been mitigated. And what you'll find is that's not been mitigated, that's not been mitigated, that's not been mitigated. How do you decide? Right? So if you're having this problem, it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Just find like a nice, comfortable refinement for me. Like for me, that'll be enough. And then stick with that. Okay, there's no need to go any further than that. Usually 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute will give you enough of a refinement in order to help get you there. So if you're still struggling with refinement, you haven't backtested enough. So go back, find your comfort level, forward test, back test, whatever you need to do to get there, because no one else can tell you how to actually refine and how far to go.